As you guys can hear, I'm back in the kitchen for another kitchen cook-up. I'm gonna do another trap style beat like I always do. And hopefully it comes out dope. So let's go ahead and see how this beat turns out.
Bolo!
Before we get started, if you guys need any equipment for your studio, make sure you guys go ahead and click my link in the description and head over to Zounds.com. Zounds has a whole bunch of stuff on the site, and they have a whole bunch of stuff on the site that requires no credit or background check, meaning all you have to do is order it, they'll ship it to you, and you can make monthly payments. All you have to do is add a credit or debit card up to the account, and you can go ahead and get your stuff just like that. So if you guys need some equipment, make sure you guys go ahead and click my link in the description and head over to Zounds.com and get you some equipment today. Oh man, my guys over at Analog Cases just released the new travel case for the MPC Key 37. Man, this thing fits the MPC 37 like a glove. And this thing comes heavily padded to make sure that your MPC Key 37 stays safe at all times. It also comes with some extra compartments to store your cables and everything else. And while you're traveling, you can either carry it like a briefcase, or if you really want to get jiggy with it, this thing turns into a backpack as well. So if you guys want to go ahead and pick up this bag, make sure you guys go ahead and click my link in the description and head over to Analog Cases and search for the MPC Key 37 case, and you guys can save 10% on it today. So go ahead and click that link right now. Before we get started, make sure you guys watch the whole video because I'm gonna be dropping a few gems in here so you guys won't have to ask me in my email like, Bolo, how do I do this? And Bolo, how do I do that? Now, all the basic stuff I'm not gonna do, but I'm gonna probably try to do a few things on here to where, you know, maybe you guys can learn something from it. So let's go ahead and get to the beat. All right, so let's go ahead and try to make a quick melody real quick. Let's go to the fabric. Let's go to keyboard. All right, so I found this toy piano. We're gonna put like a very basic little, melody down real quick. So we're gonna do this at 8 bars. We're gonna do this at 130 BPM. And let's go and add that real quick. Might want to speed that up a little bit. Let me speed that up. Yeah, 185 BPM, that feels good. So let's go ahead and go to another track. Let's get another sound in here. And before you select another sound, for all you people that keep asking me, oh, I can't get my sounds in the MPC Key 37 to work. You always, if you're picking a different sound, make sure you go to right here where it says plugin program and hit the plus sign and make sure that you add another plugin. So now we're in plugin 2. So you have to hit that plus sign every time you add another sound or change that to another plugin. So now we're in plugin 2. Now we can add another sound. Let me add one more sound in here. Go into another track. We're in track 3. We're gonna go ahead and hit that plugin program. So now we have another plugin. So we got plugin 3. All right, so we got this sound right here. Let's add that. All right, so I already got all these sounds in here, and let's just say, for instance, I don't want to use up all of my memory because I'm using all the internal sounds. And I like how this thing is sounded. What I can do is I can go up in here and I can say bounce to sample. I can do sequence 1, bounce to sample, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bounce all of this to a whole sample. So I got that done, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go right here to track 4, right? And then I'm gonna change this to a drum program, and I already have my X Factor kit in here already, so we're gonna use my drums, my X Factor kit. I'm gonna make a new drum program, and then I'm gonna go to sample assign, and I have my whole bounce right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assign the sample to this pad right here. And so I'm gonna assign it to that, and I'm gonna assign it to another pad, okay? So I have it on 2 pads in the new drum program right here, right? And the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm gonna use one of the samples for just regular how it sounds, and then that second sample that I got highlighted, I'm gonna use that to put like some halftime and stuff on it and do some other effects. So that way you can kind of say I'm kind of doing like a FL studio style workflow right here on the MPC. So what I'm gonna do now is, I like how everything sounds, everything's good. I'm gonna go back to my main, and for my first 3 tracks right here, I don't even need them no more, but I'm just gonna mute them, okay? I'm just gonna mute each one of these tracks, and you know what? I'm not gonna need them no more. I'm cool with what I got. I'm cool with what I got. And then, so let's go ahead, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just actually going to go through and I'm just going to clear all of these patterns. So I'm gonna clear that, and I'm gonna go to the next track. I'm gonna clear that too. And yes, I'm gonna clear all this. And then this track, I'm gonna clear it as well. So they don't have anything on these tracks at all. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna go back to my other program right here. And I have my 2 samples already ready to go. So I'm already good to go on that right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna resample this in here at that same tempo and everything. So let's go ahead and resample that. All right, so that's sampled on that one. And then what I'm gonna do now is, now that I got that sampled, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the second track, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this second pad, I'm gonna sample the second pad on that second track right there. So let's go ahead, let's mute this first one real quick. Go to the second track and let's sample that. Now, another thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna delete all my plugins on here because I don't need them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. They're gonna ask me, are you sure you wanna delete this program? Yes, delete. That way I can delete everything out of the memory. So let me just go through here and just delete all of the plugins out of here and delete that, and just make sure that everything is out of here. So let me delete that as well. So I wanna make sure I have my memory clear of all of those plugins. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through here. We don't have any more plugins. So I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna create another plugin right there. And then I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go to stage piano, and I'm probably gonna, let's try it. It sounds good right here. We'll keep on reflection. And then now we're gonna add a low piano to this. All right, so that sounds good. So now that we got that done, what we can do now is add some drums to this. So of course, I'm gonna be using my X Factor kit. If you guys do not have my drum kits, you need to check them out. They are dope. My X Factor kit is my highest selling kit, along with my Buffs kit and along with my 2023 kit. The 2023 kit just passed my 2020 kit, which is actually very dope too. So y'all go ahead, click my link in the description right now and head over to my website and get my drum kits. I'm telling you guys, they sound great. All right, so now let's go through here, and now let's go ahead and add some drums. Let's go right here to my X Factor kit, and here we go. So let's go ahead and add that in there, and let's turn this note repeat down to a 1/8. So let's go ahead and add that. All right, let's add some 1/16s in here. Let's go to overdub. All right, so let's add a, let's add just that clap right there. Now, let's go and add a bass in here. So let's go ahead and pick that bass right here. Let's hit warp samples. Let's click right here to make it a key group right here. And let's pull the octave up. All right, so let's see what we can do real quick. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and add a snare in here. Things sound good. So now let's go ahead and add an open hat in here. I like that one. Let's add one more little hi-hat. Let's add this one right here. It's like a cymbal slash hi-hat, but you know, sounds like a cymbal a little bit. So that sounds really dope. So now let me tell you guys what I'm gonna do. We got some drums in here we got to put together. I might add some more sounds, I might not. Now, remember the 2 tracks that we sampled, the 2 loops that we did that we sampled. Okay, so now we're gonna go back in here, right? What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to menu, I'm gonna go to program edit first, right? I'm gonna go to global. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this polyphony in the global, I'm gonna turn this down to mono, okay? It's the reason why I'm doing this, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back out of here, I'm gonna go back to main, I'm gonna go to my track mutes, right? As you guys can see, I got my second one muted, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unmute the second one, right? I'm gonna unmute that one, and then I'm gonna go to my mix. What I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna go into the effects, since I have this as a sample now, I'm gonna go into my effects, and I'm gonna go to modulation, and I'm gonna go to half speed. And I'm gonna go to half speed, I'm gonna play it now. So now that I have this in half speed, I have my other loop that's in regular speed, so now I can do different variations. So I can have my regular, and then I have my half speed. All right, so now that we're back into the track mute, I have my main one already muted, and then I have my half speed ready to go because we already sequenced that into the beat. So let's go ahead and hear that real quick. Now let's go ahead and do the record speed one right now. Now let's go back to half speed. Here we go. Ooh, that's hard right there. That is hard. That is hard. And then now what we can do is we can essentially go ahead and sequence the beat out like that. And let's go ahead and sequence the beat out real quick in that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the half speed. We're going to call this an intro, right? So we're going to call this intro. Okay, we're going to call this the intro. Go to main. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. So we're going to copy the sequence. We're going to copy it to 2. Okay, but we're going to call this hook 1 because I got it in double time It's in 8 bars, but double time is 8. Regular bars is 4. We know we need an 8-bar loop. So, we're going to do 2 parts of the hook. So we're going to call this hook 1, right? We're going to do that, right? But while we're in hook 1, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our track mutes and change it back to the regular sample, the unphased sample. So now track 1 is the regular sample. Track 2 is the half-speed sample. I got that muted, okay? So now we're going to go back to our main. We're going to copy this sequence. So we're going to copy sequence, the hook 1. We're going to call this hook 2. All right, so we can have 2 parts of the hook. That way we can do changes to the beat or whatever we got to do. We're going to press do that. Then what we're going to do now is we're going to copy this, and actually we're going to copy the intro one because that has that half speed on it. We're going to copy that into 4, and we're going to call this V1. All right, and so we're going to do that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to copy all the verses. So we're going to copy this to 5. We're going to call this V2. All right, do that. And then we're going to copy this to 6, and we're going to call this V3. All right, so now that we have that ready to go, we can go ahead and take things out if we want to. So what we're going to do is on the intro, we're going to take everything out except for the melody part. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our track mute, and we're going to leave the bass. Let's see here. All right, so what we're gonna do is we left most of that stuff out. Let's see what we got. So that sounds good. So now we're gonna go to our hook part. We're gonna put everything in, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out the half speed. So it's gonna sound like this. All right, cool. And so now we're gonna go back to our hook 2, and then we're gonna go ahead and play that again. So we're gonna have the same sounds, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that last part of the bass out. So how we do that is, what we're gonna do is we're gonna simply mute it out while we're recording it. So I'm gonna go ahead and press record, play, start. All right, cool. So now we got that done. So now we're gonna go to the verse part. So the verse part, we're gonna have just a few of the sounds out. So let's go ahead and play the first part. All right, so I took the snare and I took that first open hat out, so that's cool. So the second part, I'm gonna put the snare and the open hat back in there. And then the third part, we're gonna take that bass part out again. All right, cool. So now that we got all that done, now we can go ahead and put this into a whole sequence. But before we do that, you know your boy's got to put his tag in here. So now that I'm in an unused track, let's go ahead and put the tag in here. Cool. I already got it set already with the effects and everything, so I'm good. So now let's go right here to menu. Let's go to song mode, and then let's press record right here. Press intro, hook 1, hook 2, V1, V2, V3, hook 1, hook 2, V1, V2, V3, and then hook 1, hook 2. And then we can press stop right there. And now we have a whole song sequence inside of MPC using internal sounds and kind of doing like a FL Studio workflow. So let's go ahead and play it back.
Bolo.
And there it is. As you guys can see, you can do a lot in these new MPCs. Doesn't matter if it's the MPC Key 37, the MPC Key 61, the MPC 1, the MPC Live 2, the MPC X, the MPC X Special Edition, the software, whatever you want to do, you can do all of this stuff in it. Yes, you can do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something from it. Make sure you guys go ahead and get my drum kits. And like I always say, peace out.